Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm back with Jordyn and the Elantra N, and this video we're going to be going over 5 things that he absolutely hates about the Elantra N and 5 reasons why you should absolutely not buy this car.
Why I should sell it.
Why I should sell it immediately.
Yeah.
We're also going to do a 5 things he loves about the car as well, so definitely stay tuned for that video. But what is number 1?
Number 1 is the octane learning, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, from all the videos that we've had, the octane learning is just, it's such a hassle. I mean, yeah, there are cars that, I mean, obviously you have cars that doesn't make full power until you put 91 in it, and then 87 kind of dumbs it down. But with those cars, you don't have to learn the octane. You just fill it up and you're good.
Yeah.
So there are cars that are octane dependent, but this is probably the only car in the world that is octane learning.
Yeah. So if you guys are unfamiliar, when you fill up full tank of gas, you have to relearn whatever octane's in the tank. You have to do some crazy 10-minute highway pull in 8th gear and wait for it to learn the octane. The only way you know it's learned is by looking at the PSI it's pushing.
Yeah, it won't go over.
So it doesn't even have like a way of like actually knowing when it's learned.
Yeah.
But it is in the owner's manual, so it's not like a made up thing. It's actually like a real thing.
It is, but it actually says 5 minutes, so it's like the owner manual is not really like correct. So it's kind of weird because
maybe it could be 5 minutes. You never know.
I've tried 5 minutes and it still doesn't do it.
Wow.
So it might be. I mean, I don't know. It's just a lot of testing and learning from a lot of different owners. That's how we all got to know how to do it. But
and that's only for DCT Elantra Ns, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think the manual has it, but I think it's much more difficult. Like I think it's near impossible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number 1. What about number 2? What's something that drives you crazy? By the way, he brought his notes, yeah. So doesn't forget.
Oh, the gas tank size.
Okay.
So like obviously the manual's, I think the manual's a little bit better. Still the same highway, but the DCT is 20 in the city, 30 in the highway, and this is a 12.4 gallon tank. That's pretty small for this car. Obviously, with like the regular Elantra, that's way more economy, so you're still getting over 30 miles, you know, in the city. So that makes sense. But with this, I barely get maybe 280 miles, 300 at most a tank, and it goes down pretty quick, especially when you're like in NGS mode or N mode all the time. I'm filling up like once every week. So if I wish it was 3 gallons bigger, that would make a big difference.
In comparison, guys, my Golf R, it gets the same gas mileage. Actually, it's rated for like 22 in the city, 30 on the highway, something like that, or 29 on the highway. And this one has a 14.3 gallon tank, so it's actually pretty big. And I can go like 400 miles if I drive it really conservatively. But obviously when you have a smaller tank, it can be a little frustrating.
Yeah,
my GTI had like a 13 point something gallon tank, so it's still bigger, and then the GTI got much better gas mileage.
Yeah, it's funny because my SI that I had, my 10th gen, it was the same gas tank size, 12.4, but I was going empty at like 450 miles a gallon, and that was tuned. So 450 down to 300 with the same gas tank, it's pretty bad. I mean, yes, you're getting way more power. Like this car is obviously, you're trapping like 10 to 12 miles an hour faster than an SI. So it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it, you know, for sure. But I just wish it was bigger. It would actually make a big difference money-wise, especially with how bad gas prices have been in the last couple of years.
Well, keep in mind, if the tank is smaller, then you spend less to fill it up. You just don't go as far. What about number 3?
So number 3.
And by the way, this is a 2022. You've had it for about like a year and a half now.
Yes, it's October of 22.
17,000 miles. No reliability concerns yet, right?
No, nothing at all.
That's good.
So number 3 is there's no rear seat vents.
Okay, let's go take a look.
Yeah.
So obviously you have a baby on the way, right?
Yes.
And it's important to have AC in the back.
Yep. Now the room is there. The room is massive, and the good thing is the
room is good. Yeah.
There's so much more leg room with these because the base Elantra has thicker seats. But there would be rear seat vents. Now there is a kit that you can take this off and run venting from the front dash to here. It's pretty hard to do.
It's probably more trouble than it's worth, to be honest.
It is way more trouble than it's worth.
But yeah, the AC vents would be right here if it had it.
Yeah, and there's nothing. The new facelift Elantra hens have even charging ports, and mine doesn't. There's nothing back here. There's no cup seats. There's no nothing. But rear seat vents is probably way more important, especially with my kid on the way, and with being here in Las Vegas, Mexico, it gets pretty hot. So
yeah, for sure.
I wish we had that.
Just in case you're wondering, the GTI has air vents and USBs in the back seat. All right, what about number 4?
So number 4 would probably be the piano black that's on the center console. There is some piano black too on the tack, but it's mostly covered by screen.
So I can agree with you on this. My Golf R has a bunch of piano black as well, and it's really annoying to try to keep it clean.
Yeah, so where the...
Here.
Yep, and then where the gear shifter is, and then right here on the left, this is not screen, but this is piano black too. So it gets kind of annoying, all the scratches, the dust and stuff.
Yeah, it's frustrating trying to keep that clean.
When I try to clean it, because I use a microfiber, I get really scared trying to clean it because I'm afraid I'm gonna scratch it, and you can see it so easily. So that's why I'm like, I hate it so much, and I wish it was kind of like a lot of Beamers and stuff like that. They have kind of like that aluminum trim, or they have like that faux wood or whatever. I wish they had something like that, even if it was just like a faux aluminum or something. But just the piano black is just so overdone with cars these days, and that's...
Yeah, it's super hard to keep clean, and it looks rough over time and stuff like that. So
yeah, it really does. So
okay, now what about number 5? Are we on number 5 now?
Yeah, we are number 5.
Okay.
It was kind of hard, but this is kind of just something dumb that could be replaced, but the lack of LEDs on this car. So what I'm talking about is the cabin lights are halogens stock, the rear license plate lights are halogens, the trunk light is halogens, the turn signals are halogens, the reverse
These are all
lights.
halogens right here. Yeah. Everything's halogen.
Well, this is brake lights are LEDs. The running light is all LED. But
the brake lights are LEDs?
Yeah,
these are LEDs?
Yeah, these are LEDs individuals.
I didn't know that.
This is halogen turn signal. I replaced the reverse lights. They're LEDs, but they're regular halogens.
And you said the license plate lights too?
The license plate lights are too. I replaced them. The trunk light is, I replaced that. The cabin lights, I replaced them. But all the halogens, and then the front.
Oh yeah, the front turn signal is halogen too, right?
Yeah, the headlights are high and low beam LED with an LED running light and stuff, but the turn signals, which is in the bumper.
Yeah, turn signal's right here. That's a halogen bulb.
And it's kind of like cost cutting, because then like when you do have cars like in the same price like the GTI or even the SI has all LEDs and stuff like on their taillights and headlights and stuff. So it's kind of like...
Well, actually the SI doesn't, because I was looking at that before I got my GTI. The headlights are full LED. The headlights or everything in the front is LED. Yeah. But the rear, only the taillights, like when the lights are on at night, but you don't have the brake lights on.
I think
only the taillights are LED. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
No, this is actually on par, but the GTI has all LEDs. I know, but yeah, inside and out.
When you're comparing it to a lot of cars with the same price, or even cars like performance-wise that can compare with like the Type R and stuff, like there's a lot more that those cars get. Now, yes, they're 10 grand more, but like I said, when you're comparing price to like the GTI, SI, GLI, WRX, a lot of those cars have a lot more LED-esque lights compared to this, so it's kind of cheaped out. I get it, you know, you're still getting an economy car with it, but I wish there was a lot more LEDs. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's definitely number 5. That's just something like randomly I try to think of, because it's so hard to find things to hate about this car. So
overall, you would say you're pretty satisfied. It's just the octane learning is the only thing that drives you crazy, right?
Horrible, and that's one of the main things I wanted to sell this car. Like, I didn't know about the octane learning when I bought this car, so like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting full power with this car and stuff. And then I found that out after I bought it, so I was like, shit. But yeah, that's definitely number 1, and that it can be a major deciding factor for a lot of people with this car, is just
for sure
learning the octane and not knowing how to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the car's still quick, but you do notice when it's not learned compared to when it is learned, especially wide open throttle, because the boost stays like 15-16 pounds compared to like 17-18 when you're wide open throttle when learned. So it's like you feel it.
You definitely notice that difference. Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying, but that is definitely number 1.
Well, those are the 5 things that we hate about the Elantra N. Well, you hate about the Elantra N because you're the actual owner.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for the next video. We're going to go over 5 things that make this car great, a great value and everything like that. If you enjoyed this one, please give it a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.